So you got to give Amanda Waller a little bit of credit, because she's been out of the picture for about 4 or 5 months now, and she's still being felt. My name is Dorian. This is SEU Comics. We're continuing our coverage of Justice League Unlimited with number 3. So our story starts off at the Watchtower with Renee Montoya, the Question, doing her job. She's giving Blue Beetle a hard time. This is Blue Beetle Tech Cord. And she's just snooping around, just being a detective. So then she goes to the chow hall where you have Green Arrow and Black Canary, and they're making chili. And Green Arrow has a Batman apron, which just screams jealousy. So Green Arrow offers her some, and she's like, I don't think so. Your chili is logged in as a weapon of mass destruction, so I think I'll pass. So then her dog starts snooping in like a storage bin, and all of a sudden Renee opens up the door and we see it's Airwave. Now, if you remember the first video, then we know that Airwave is not to be trusted. And it seems like Renee, being the detective she is, has figured that out, as she's saying, I know what your plan is and I know what you're doing and so on and so forth. But then she's like, you don't really have a home, and that's why you've been up here for 12 days. Because I guess he's one of the forgotten children or forgotten sidekicks. That's all in Stargirl, where he came from a different timeline. So Renee is like, it's cool. You can stay here as long as you want to. But also, too, you're going to be helpful. So mask up. Because on the next page, the Amazon rainforest is on fire. And I'm just talking about like a little portion of it. No. Almost a whole damn thing. And Red Tornado, as an AI, Elongated Man, and Mr. Terrific are flipping out. So then they deploy the heaviest of hitters. They got Superman, they got Wonder Woman, they got the Flash, Wally West. They got Shazam. I know you guys, ooh, it's the Captain. That's Shazam. They got Star Sapphire, they got Star Girl, and her sidekick uncle that's a big robot. So it's these crazy looking pillars that are pretty much causing the fire. Superman is trying to use his X-ray vision and it's not working. So he grabs one, and all of a sudden he is on fire to the point that he has to use his freeze breath to cool off his hands. And first thing out of his mouth goes, magic. So then they waste no time sending Satana, Zamp Joe, I hope I pronounced that right, and Dr. Occult to the scene. And also for good measure, they deployed the Metal Men, Gold, Iron, and Platinum. So some of them, like Stargirl, her robot uncle, and Star Sapphire, are just trying to help out civilians in the area. And Mr. Terrific and Red Tornado are trying to figure out why this group is doing what they're doing. Because they're using ethereal fires, or at least Mr. Terrific think they're ethereal fires, which is the same thing that wiped out Martian Manhunter's people. And the Red Tornado's like, I don't think they're ethereal fires, but it really doesn't matter what I think, because we can't ask Martian Manhunter anyway because he disappeared. Well, at least he disappeared until the greatest detective in the world tracks him down, which is Batman. So the Mr. Terrific's like, this makes no sense. Like, these people talk about how they want to rule the world, but everything that they're doing is resulting in something that will pretty much take out the world. So what the hell's there going to be the rule after they're all said and done? So then Satana goes, well, we could just ask them themselves. As she does a spell, she talks backwards, so took me a minute to figure out what the hell she was saying. She says, fire, reveal your masters, show yourselves. Now, the reason why she's able to do this is because they're using magical towers, and I guess when they're using these magical towers, a connection has to remain, so they're able to use that to reveal who's behind it. And they show up looking like Nazgûl, straight out of Lord of the Rings. So I feel like it's Sauron behind this. You heard it here first. So it goes, oh my, look at what the humans learned to do. So now we cut to Gateway City, where you have the two Atoms, and they're breaking into Phantom Girl's apartment. Why? Because they have Plastic Man with them, who happens to have Phantom Girl's powers. Now, I guess Plastic Man and Phantom Girl had a thing going on, and they're thinking that since Plastic Man has her powers, she probably has his powers. So again, that's why they're looking for her. And as Plastic Man opens up the door, she looks horrible. I mean, she looks horrible. She looks horrible. So the Plastic Man's credit, he pretty much hugs her and is like, hey, it's gonna be okay. And he turns to the Atom's like, you gotta help her. So then they're like, all right, grab onto the device. You take one end, she takes the other end, and hopefully it should work. So they do, and there's a big old buzz. She falls back looking horrible still, but it worked. She has her powers back and he has his powers back. And then they hug. And then all of a sudden she's like, all right, cool, I got my powers back. Now I can go to my people. And she just disappears. So then the two Atoms pretty much let Plastic Man know that what they're doing is called the Atom Project, where they're trying to fix everybody's powers that Waller pretty much messed up. And they ask him if he wants to hear more. So then we cut back to the Amazon where we have the Nazgul, and he's like, we have much planned for this world. Conquest is the least of it. It's like we seek domination, total genocide, pretty much wipe out the human race. He's like, we are agents of vengeance. So the Mr. Trevor is like, vengeance? For what? Like, what are you talking about? So then the Nazguls figure out that they can break the connection, and that's exactly what we're about to do. But Dr. Cole's like, hold on, time out. I still have more questions, as he jumps into the void, and then the void disappears. So the Mr. Trevor's like, the recklessness, like already struggling, and then he decides to jump in there and just disappear and make our numbers even less. Me, I felt like this was a perfect time for Mr. Terrific to have one of them Samuel Jackson black ass moments. He could have been like, you see what that motherfucker just did? I told his ass not to be reckless. And what's he do? Just jump into a void. Like that motherfucker. So after Mr. Terrific had his black ass moment, he sends Radio Wave to go get Aquaman, and he sends them both to Louisiana to go see Swamp Thing. Because since they're burning down the rainforest and they're dealing with the green, you're going to deal with the green, you're dealing with Swamp Thing. But this isn't Swamp Thing Alex Holland. This is totally different new Swamp Thing. So Aquaman shows up and is like, hey, I want to see if you could help us. I dealt with your predecessor before, but this is the first time that we met. And it's a quick conversation because all of a sudden Swamp Thing is engulfed in flames and is dead. Dead. Like he is done. And Justice League like, what the hell are we gonna do now?